Let's going. All right, we're gonna get started with introductions. I'm gonna share my screen real quick. But before I do, while we can see everyone's faces really easily, first off, I'm SJ Menifee. I'm the Director of Communications here and the newly appointed leader of SHAC, which just means I am going to help us facilitate conversations and make sure that we are meeting the guidelines of what our SHAC is supposed to do, which I'm going to go over, so you don't need to guess, which is great. I was still sort of learning the role myself. But I'm super excited to partner with everyone who's already working on school health initiatives here at Rappaport. And I'm going to pass it to all people who do PE first, starting, let's go youngest to oldest. How about that?
Sounds good. I'm Coach K, and I'm at the pre-K through first grade campus on Llewellyn.
Hi, Coach K.
I'm Coach Whitty, and I'm at the 2nd through 4th grade campus teaching PE.
Hello.
I'm Coach Foreman. I'm the athletic director over at secondary.
Fantastic. All right. And then if you are not a coach, please feel free to introduce yourself.
I'm Katrina Thomas. I know my name says Mason. If somebody can tell me how to change that again, I had that for Region 12. I had to change it to Mason, but I'm Katrina Thomas. I'm the parent liaison for the school district. Ms. Tovar, you probably spoke with me. I probably was the one that called you and said you had a spot. So I'm the parent liaison for the school district.
Fabulous. How about our counselors?
Okay.
Sorry, Jen.
Hi, I'm Miss Lopez. I am the elementary school counselors. I work at both the Llewellyn campus and the MacArthur campus.
I'm Ashley Ugolano. I'm the secondary counselor.
Okay, Jen, sorry for cutting you off.
It's all good. I'm Jenn Mellott. I am the director of nutrition.
Fabulous. All right.
Jen's on the beach.
Everyone else who is not an employee, welcome so much. We are hoping to grow our parent participation in particular. I went to a really great SHAC training yesterday, which suggests that every campus should try to get 1 or 2 parents from each campus, which I think is a fantastic plan. So I'm about to be giving our deans of students who may still be hopping on this call that task. But if you're a parent or a community member, would you go ahead and introduce yourselves, Miss Tovar? We kind of heard you introduce yourself, but
yes, sir. Yeah, Lisa Tovar. I'm a pre-K student there at Rappaport.
Thank you. How about you, Mr. Gold?
Let's see if I can get this mic to work. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Awesome. I am a one-time staff member, one-time SHAC committee member. I'm here as a community member. I work at Baylor University as a assistant director for fitness initiatives in the Department of Campus Rec, and here to observe and support and provide any resources I can.
Fantastic. And how about you, Dr. Thompson?
Hey, I might have to hop off.
Sure.
I have a patient in the chair, but I wanted to hop on real quick. I'm Kelsey Thompson. I have a pre-K and kindergartner at Rappaport, and I'm also over Waco Family Medicine's mobile outreach program, and we are doing a clinic at the elementary campuses this fall. So I just wanted to hop on and kind of introduce myself, but I may have to.
No worries. Thank you so much, Kelsey. I mean, if you do this whole thing while you're also doing dentistry, I'm going to be very, very, very impressed. I will have to tell everybody that missed this SHAC meeting, they really missed something awesome. And then I see Angie Cotton's hopped on, and Miss Cotton, would you introduce yourself and what your role here is? Oh, hang on, you're muted. There you go.
Hi, yes, I'm Angie Cotton. I'm our director of compliance. So I don't know what you want to share.
That is it. That's all you got to share. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And I just have a presentation that we're going to go through. Let me see if I can go full screen with that. And then this should not, we don't have a huge agenda today. It is being recorded. It is required that we record all of our meetings, but if there's something else that you want to see or need to come back to, can everyone see my SHAC presentation here?
I see it.
Perfect. I have several screens and I just wanted to make sure that it was all in the right spot. All right, so SHAC is School Health Advisory Council, and what we are about is strengthening the connection between health and learning at Rappaport Academy. And to briefly overview what SHAC is, now that we've done our welcomes and introductions, it's a district level advisory council that assists the district in ensuring that local community values are reflected in the district's health education and instruction. They are mandated by state law, and it is a place where we want to have a voice for parents and the community, and to share the importance of health at our district. We review all health-related curriculums and make recommendations on health-related topics. And we are all committed to the belief that healthier students are better learners. All SHACs are different at every school district across Texas, but they all have common goals, which is to develop and monitor the district's local school wellness policy, identify gaps in the district health policies, programs, and practices, advocate for school health at the district and within our community, and amplify, again, the voices of our community members, our parents, and caregivers, and to develop a vision, goals, and plan for supporting the whole child throughout the district. And what that looks like is aligning what we plan and what we do with the whole school, whole community, whole child model, which encompasses a ton of different components, as you can see on this very involved graphic. It's about health education and PE, nutrition, health services, counseling, social and emotional health, safety in the physical environment, employee wellness, family engagement, and community involvement. So it's a lot. It's really broad. But the idea is to get parent feedback and to keep people informed about what all is happening with health in our community, and making sure that our policies and our plans really represent who we are as a district, versus like we're not taking somebody else's plan and implementing it. We're making a plan for Rappaport as a school. So with that in mind, I've asked Ms. Mellott specifically to give us a quick presentation just on her perspective as the person in charge of nutrition here. And at the beginning of each of these meetings, at least for this year, we're trying out this model where we have a 5 to 10 minute presentation conversation about one of these areas within the whole school, whole community, whole child model, as a way to kind of just inform parents. I've been on these calls now for a few years, and I think that we hope that you go away as a parent. And again, these are recorded so parents can go back and watch them as well, that they would be able to be informed about how we're trying to incorporate this model into the work that we do. Not just that we're trying to make decisions about policies, but also that you know that we have a lot of really amazing people that are working every day towards making sure that our students are healthy and well and safe, and that our employees are also well. So with that said, Ms. Mellott, you are welcome to just talk to us about things that are happening with nutrition at Rappaport Academy.
Hey, everyone. So things that we've been doing this year specifically is we are boosting up our types of foods that we are sharing with kids. We're getting them to learn about new and variety of vegetables and fruits. Portion sizes are changing for high school. We've increased that portion size for our high school students. We are serving more students. I'm sure you're very well aware of our enrollment increase. So therefore, we've changed the way we do things here at Food Service. And sorry, I'm in the middle of serving right now, so my brain is out there and I can hear what's going on and I want to get back out there.
We're so
I'm
thankful
sorry,
that you're joining us. I'm
apologize.
sorry that this
My
is an
brain's in two
inconvenient
places.
time. I know.
So I'm sorry if this is quick and fast, but like I said, we are in the middle of serving 8th grade right now. But another thing that we are doing is we have partnered with a high school group that is focused on nutrition. So we are working together and I am taking ideas from them and they are sharing things they like, things they don't like, and we are working together. We haven't exactly started yet with that. I'm hoping to start that next month. I'm trying to get with them and get that rolling. But they're giving us ideas of things that maybe students like. They're taking student surveys. And one of the things that they suggested that we have gone full force with is we are limiting our prepackaged foods. So we're doing more scratch cooking and less prepackaged. Some things are unavoidable, but for the most part, everything will be out of a package. So we are slowly making changes with what they are suggesting. And other than that, I'm open to questions if anybody had any.
There we go. Any questions about child nutrition at Rappaport Academy? I will say I had lunch yesterday, sort of unexpectedly at 5th grade, and it was delicious. I think it was called a Crispito. I would call it a taquito. But it was really, really, really good. And every meal that I've had this year has been awesome. And I'm hearing great feedback from students as well. My kiddos eat as long as it's something that they really enjoy, which is most of the time for 2 of my 3 kids. But I got my one picky eater. Does anyone have any questions about nutrition? You're right, we have had an enrollment increase. We're at 900-ish,
Yes.
somewhere in the range.
Yes, so hopefully breakfast will increase. We're working towards that. We are superseding our numbers from last year for lunch, so that's great news for us. And other than that, we're feeding healthy every day.
That's good. I don't know if this is a question or not, but I always worry, like, if there's any assurance that the children are eating. Like, I know you can't watch them all and like force them to eat, but I know my son has become a picky eater, and I always worry that he's not eating at school or open to try any of because the menu always looks great, and we always talk about oh, you're gonna have like burritos today, or I try to get him excited about it, but I just wonder, like as a parent, that my child is getting.
Right. So I know at each campus there are TAs, and each campus provides staff that monitors the students. And they walk down the rows and help them, if they need to open their milk, or, they talk to them and they encourage them to try. But like you just touched on, they can't force them to eat it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as long as there's some folks in there that are walking around and encouraging them, that's reassuring.
Yes,
absolutely.
And I actually work in the cafeteria. Your son's Noah, correct?
Noah, yes.
No, yeah. So we do encourage them to eat, and a lot of times if they don't know what it is, I'll tell them, and then they'll try it. Or if it was Chinese the other day, I said, it's like a chicken nugget, and they're like, oh, okay. And so then they'll try it. So if we do notice that someone isn't eating, we usually will notice and we'll talk to the parent. But if you ever have a question, you can ask and we can specifically, watch for that student. But so far, I mean, the kids have really been trying everything, and the teaching assistants are really good with that, encouraging them to eat. But if you ever have a question, you can ask like Mr. Smith, and he can pass it on to us and we can keep an eye out.
Okay, very
But
good.
I think
Thank
Noah
you.
he does eat.
Okay, good. Yeah, he didn't eat at home.
They do like to eat if there's a sweet, they like to eat that. So we try to encourage them to eat their meats and vegetables too. But they always like to try that sweet if they like. Today they had the yogurt. They were real excited about that.
Little do they know. that has a great requirement. It can be used.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah. We try to sneak it in there.
Yeah. I do that at home and I get in trouble.
maybe here it's different. The friends are eating. They're gonna, oh, okay, you're gonna try it out.
Yeah, I think so too. Seeing other kids, seeing other kids try it.
Positive peer pressure. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Absolutely. All right. Does anyone else have any questions? I think most of our people on here work here. I love that you're doing a focus group with high schoolers, Jen. I think that's going to be really effective. It's just like getting that student feedback. So maybe, I know that it's really hard for you to join these SHAC meetings that are scheduled at the lunch hour, but maybe you and I can connect and I can make sure that I can give some updates on that in the future. If there's anything that y'all make decisions on that might be of interest to the SHAC, letting them know how that student feedback is being incorporated. Because it is true that every single meal that you serve has to fit a very strict guidelines as far as healthy foods are concerned, correct?
Correct. And
Right.
we are, without getting into too much detail, because it's a lot, it's an offer versus serve situation, and we are a serve only school. We aren't an offer school because we offer everything for free.
Correct. Yes,
So-
we are very excited to be able to offer both breakfast and lunch for free to
Yeah.
all of our students.
Yes,
which is just
absolutely.
an amazing opportunity, but also comes with very specific rules that
Absolutely.
must be abided.
Yes.
I had
Go on the
a quick
TDA
question.
website.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Go ahead,
I had a
go
quick
ahead, Jared.
question. I believe with Parent Square, there's quite a bit of capability that SJ, you're unlocking and enhancing for the district in some capacity. And I think the inquiry and support of students who are able to provide input is highly supported best practice. It's awesome. I'm wondering if there is an opportunity to also potentially at some point in time, should the SHAC be interested in polling parents about what kinds of meals their students tend to enjoy at home, that might be supportive of input as well, that would be more representative of what you might get out of a sample or a focus group at a smaller at a younger age, so that you can be incorporating some of that data as well.
What do you think about that, Lisa, as far as like, if you had like favorite foods that Noah enjoys, that might be something that Miss Mellott could take as a suggestion for things. I mean, I don't know about you, but my kids are all about the chicken nuggets, but and corn dogs. I ate on corn dog day.
At home, not so much with chicken nuggets, surprisingly. I thought that all kids love that. But yeah, he's definitely always changing it up. I was a vegetarian for a long time, before meeting his dad, and now it's not so much. But we do a lot of veggies in our house, and Noah, used to be really open to it, and then it all just kind of shifted. And so now it's cheese, mostly cheese. And but yeah, I think that would be a great idea, is like asking the parents, and because every style is different. Like I said, I like to cook with vegetables. If I didn't have to add meat in anything, I wouldn't. But I don't have a choice because my son and my husband enjoy it.
I got you.
I also used to, up until this year, I would cook with Noah. I'd let him like scramble eggs and help him chop the veggies. And, that's why he would be so open to trying like raw bell pepper and broccoli, onions and cucumbers. And I think that's helped determine like what vegetables and what fruit he enjoyed. And he enjoyed like cooking with me, but I don't know if he's gotten a little older and he doesn't like to do it as much. He prefers to play with his cars and his trains. So, but that worked for a good while. But I still push for it every now and then to try to get him in the kitchen with me. Do you know if any of the campuses, if y'all do any kind of programs like that where the kids are a little more hands-on with fruits and vegetables and putting meals together?
Yeah,
not for serving. I imagine, I'm sure there's
that is a program that we could approach. I would do that at a older grade level to start.
Sure, yeah.
To see how that goes. At Fluellen, it's a little hard. They have to actually come over to our kitchen. So I mean, it could be a field trip thing, absolutely. It's something we could work towards. But there's not an actual physical kitchen there, so that's right. A little bit difficult. But yes, that's something we definitely can work towards.
Cool.
We have worked with some external community partners who have come to do different nutrition presentations. And in the spring, we have Fruits and Vegetables Day, which is another time where we try to encourage kids to, maybe try something new. April Strickland, who's a parent here, and I'm surprised she's not on the call, works with Texas AgriLife Extension, and they always talk about eating the rainbow, looking at how you can interact with different fruits and vegetables, that different colors, trying to collect all those colors is a fun way to interact with our younger kiddos. And like, maybe you don't like red bell pepper, but there's another red vegetable or fruit that you like, and trying to keep a variety and not everything is white and brown.
Right.
Yeah. So those are some things that we do offer and encourage over the whole school year, as far as
Great.
like interacting with nutrition. But I love the idea of like a field trip, or to like, you know, knowing about everything that's on their plate, you know, and how like every component on that plate that they're getting for lunch and for breakfast has a purpose. You know, milk has a great purpose, as long as you don't have a lactose allergy or something like that. Like why are all these things on your plate? That's a great idea.
Yeah.
As far as,
Like where it
helping
comes
them.
from, and then all of the different ways that you can eat them. Like you can have raw bell pepper, or you can saute bell pepper, and then yeah, there's just different ways to have fruits and vegetables, not just peel it and eat it.
And everybody's tastes are different, right? I have
Yeah,
one kid
exactly.
who is an absolute only raw vegetable person, and I never thought that like little kids were like really truly liked salad, and she does. So
Yeah,
you
I love
know,
that.
but they also offer that at our cafeteria. You'll see that there's a lot of fresh fruits and veggies, and there's also cooked fruits and veggies. So
Awesome.
all right, any other questions before we move on, friends? All right, thank you. Thank you
Hey,
so
thank you,
much,
SJ. I'm
Ms.
gonna
Mellott.
jump off.
I know you got to go hop back out there and serve the food. We appreciate you.
Bye.
Okay, so the rest of our agenda today is just sort of our school health updates, and that's what is on our agenda. I don't have slides for every single thing, but I'm just going to chat briefly, and then have our people who are on here who have any updates to give them. So first up, we are getting a new school nurse. The beautiful lady on our screen right here, Miss Nurse Butler, has been our part-time nurse now for the last couple years. And she has accepted a full-time role at MCC teaching nursing, which is amazing opportunity for her. She is still working part-time currently, as we're working on transitioning to a new school nurse who's actually one of our parents. So we have a part-time school nurse, and so nothing is left uncovered right now. We're just waiting for that, finalizing all of the paperwork for the transition to our new school nurse. The school nurse does, you know, vision, hearing checks, does various wellness checks at different ages and stages at our school, make sure that our vaccinations and things are up to date, and provides on-call, you know, help for any serious medical things. Most of the time, our day-to-day things are handled by our admin assistants at each campus, and they do a fabulous job of taking care of our kiddos when they are hurt or sick. And most of the time that's like making sure that they have what they need in the moment, and then calling the parents if they need to go home. So when we have news about our new nurse coming on, she'll be joining us for SHAC meetings, and we'll introduce her to you. As Ms. Thompson mentioned, we are going to be offering dental clinics at our elementaries in the fall. And the dates for those are early November. So we'll have more information about that specifically at the October meeting. They are going to be coming to campuses soon, though, because we need parents to fill out consent forms for those dental clinics. It's offered free of charge by Waco Family Medicine. And it's something we tried to get set up last spring, and it just didn't work out because of scheduling. So we're starting early this year so that we can get it done. And are really blessed that Ms. Thompson is also a Rappaport parent, so she's also very committed to helping the scheduling happen. So some staff wellness initiatives real quick. We recently launched an internal newsletter just for staff, where we're trying to help, you know, communicate some wellness initiatives district-wide to all of our families. And one of those things is that we get a 20% off membership at the Greater Waco YMCA. And this next week, they're doing a preview day for all employees to come and try out the gym for free for a day by just showing your ID badge. So helping our staff connect to things like that, where we get a discount, or making it easy for them to access things that help them stay healthy. Some of the other things that I plan to help start publicizing to staff, we as a district pay for a service called Recuro, which allows all staff members to have free virtual doctor's appointments, not only for staff, but for their dependents as well. We added dependents this year. I had a kid stay home sick who was feeling really sick to her stomach, and I set up a Recuro appointment for her, and I got a doctor's note for her and a medicine called in, a prescription called in for her. It took me 15 minutes to do the whole thing. We didn't have to go anywhere, and it cost me $0 out of my pocket. So things like that we offer for staff, we want to let them know ways to stay healthy and on top of things, and not feel like that it's just going to be a huge challenge to get sick ever, or to stay healthy and stay fit. Along with that, I'm hoping to work with SHAC on specifically working on maybe a wellness newsletter, which is something that I chatted with our counselors about, that we might put in bathroom stalls, especially at our secondary campus where people can read. And highlight some things that may be happening quarterly, like if we do a flu shot clinic, anything having to do with mental health awareness, and just good reminders for healthy living for both students and staff. So that's something that I would love us to discuss. And we have in the past as a SHAC organized a flu shot clinic. So that's something I would love to hear from everybody about, both the wellness newsletter and flu shot clinics. If you guys think we should move forward with trying to host something either at secondary campus only or at every location, now is the time to start scheduling that. So what do you guys think about those two things? Not everybody at once though.
I think it'd be cute, like if you have any staff members who do like a, like like a 1K or 5K run, and maybe they're training for it, that could be something included.
Oh, I love that idea. Yeah.
Or if they've completed it, then maybe like their photo with their, at the race, like things like that, or
so
if
like
it's a
wellness
group,
shout outs or something like that, where you're highlighting. I love that.
Yeah, things like that. Or, if a couple of the staff members decide to get together and go for like a hike at Cameron Park or something, just highlighting those moments. It could be cute.
I think it would be very cute.
Maybe like a recipe idea or
yeah.
something quick and easy and super healthy.
I bet I could get that from April Strickland again from Texas AgriLife. They do a lot of cooking demos over there, and they're all very specifically focused on healthy living, but also anything that staff want to share that they love to make.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know what Coach Woody's favorite recipe is for Coach Woody's favorite thing. What is one of your favorite things, Coach Woody? I'm going to start engaging people who haven't talked yet.
I guess I've been really into the crock pot lately.
Yeah.
Like on the weekends, like get that crock pot ready before the football game. And I guess I recently made pulled chicken barbecue sliders. For like it was like 4 ingredients. So
I like 4 ingredients too.
Yeah. So I guess that's been my favorite lately.
Love that idea. For the wellness newsletter, I was thinking about piloting it in the high school specifically to sort of start and see how that goes. It would be some investment as far as getting the little plexiglass things to stick them in. But I like to think of that as sort of like a captive moment where everybody's going to go to the bathroom at some point during the day. So we'll try to get them some messaging while they're in there about, even if it's like, washing your hands because it's cold and flu season, and ways to stay healthy.
Yeah.
Covering your cough. I mean, there's lots of very simple things that we can remind people of. And our counselors do a great job with their monthly newsletters about mental health. So incorporating some of the tips that they have in there about wellness, I think would be important.
Is there any meditation?
Yeah.
Listen,
bathroom meditations.
Yeah, I was thinking adding in some affirmations or some positive sayings and stuff. A nice quiet moment when you're in the restroom by yourself might be a good time to say a nice positive thing about yourself.
I like that. Affirmations. What do we think about maybe doing a flu shot clinic in October, friends, or early November? As far as like just making it easy for staff and students, you can always go to CVS or HEB or any of the places that offer flu shots, but you know, encouraging staff to get covered so they don't get sick, students to not spread the flu.
I think it's a good idea, and that not everybody has time to make it to the clinic. And if it's there at your job, then you know you can get it done and then not have to worry about like having to rush after work or something.
Sure.
As a community member, I was able to bring my young daughter once to campus, and every year she asks if we're going back to Rappaport to get our flu shots. That's what she's
So I need to
associated
send
that
you
with.
specifically an invitation, huh?
Specifically, it's the only time that she wants to get a shot. The drive-up clinic is not her favorite, but she does like going to campus.
Okay.
I also think that is
That's
in
a
line with
ringing endorsement.
what I have seen from some of the rollout timelines. So the earliest I've seen is starting now that those flu vaccines are available locally. It looks like I got a flyer the other day from Hillcrest that their clinic is October 19th. And so don't quote me specifically on this, but I think the peak efficacy for that vaccination is something like 12 weeks or 16 weeks or something like that. So you don't want to time it necessarily too early for your community, but you don't want to time it too late either. And so if you're trying to make sure that it hits kind of at that pre-Thanksgiving to Thanksgiving timeline, there's someone who's a medical professional who could probably give us better articulation on that. But I think your timing of mid-October is a good one because it gets you almost out of February, which as we know, January, February can be heavy flu months as well too.
That's a good point. I like pre-Thanksgiving, keeping that the goal. And for us, it will be post fall break, almost definitely, just because of like scheduling things. As you know, the second week of October, we are closed. So we have a break, and that is also very good for staff mental health. Let me just tell you. All right. Well, that's great. Thank you for that, Mr. Gould. Any topic suggestions for our next meeting as far as things that you might want to discuss about health and wellness? Just you start thinking about that in the back of your minds. And then I would love to hear any updates from people who are staff members, if the coaches or PE teachers have anything they would like to share about what you guys are currently working on. We can start with Coach K if you have anything specific you'd like to highlight. You are doing a great job highlighting our star students on Facebook.
Yeah, they're excited about that. So each week we try to pick a star student. Then there will be a star. Everyone will get to be a star throughout the year, is the goal. And so, you know, just participating in PE and focusing on following directions and being good teammates and that type of thing. So, so we do have a star student, and the kids really, really enjoy that. I just want to say this year pre-K is really rocking it. They are. We go over procedures and those types of things to keep us safe, and they really are doing well. I've actually gotten to do a lot of things early with them. So that's exciting. We're really working on just little things. We work on hopping. We work on worked on shooting, and had a goal, and pre-K beat kindergarten, you know, one day. And so we had a little competition, but they're all doing really well. We got to pull out the SHACs early this year for the SHAC race and start practicing that. So it's all going really well for pre-K through first grade.
Wonderful. How's it going over at 2nd through 4th grade, Coach Woody? Y'all are always working on specific sports skills.
Yes. So for August, we basically did classroom procedures, expectations, and a lot of just random games like tag games and various games that we could do in the shade because it's so hot, simple activities. And then for the month of September, we've been working on the sport of volleyball. So we've been doing underhand serve, overhand serve, just playing keep it up with the partner for those that want to try keeping it up. And then we also do the tossing and catching is the easier modification. And then this week we set all the nets up. So we have about 9 volleyball nets, and they're just 2 on each side or 3 on each side. And they're just have at it. They're playing their own little volleyball game, hitting it over the net, trying to strike it like a volleyball, or tossing and catch it for the modified version. So that's fun for them. And then next week we'll it won't be quite volleyball, it'll be like a variation, but still working on the same skills. So like a 4-square day, still striking the ball up, and this game that we play every year called Goo Goo Ball. It's like Gaga Ball, but we don't have the wooden area, so we just call it Goo Goo Ball because of the cones. So that's been fun so far.
That's great. That reminds me, Coach Foreman, you're next up, but we need to look at getting our volleyball players over to high five our elementary kids. That's something that we try to do each year is we have our high school athletes come and do a high five Friday or a welcome at one of the carpools. So that's something
let's make it happen.
scheduled. So they can see where those volleyball skills are going to take them becoming Raven athletes.
Yeah, but I mean, over on secondary, we're kind of doing the same thing. We're about to get really heavy into volleyball. I mean, early on, it was a lot of just trying to stay cool because it was so hot. But now we're about to really get into volleyball for like the next month or so, and then kind of go along with the sports schedule. We're going to move into basketball and then into soccer and track. But yeah, right now we're just getting ready for a lot of volleyball.
Awesome. Thank you so much. School counselors, what's on y'all's agendas right now as far as things that are happening?
Well, I know that we're going to be getting ready to do presentations about bullying prevention next month. I know mine are scheduled at the very beginning of October, so kind of finalizing those and getting excited to go do those presentations with kids. I'm not sure if this is maybe relevant towards this group, but I do think it is a way that, especially at MAC, teachers and staff are working on like creating like positive environments is they are implementing clubs, after school clubs. So we have a Lego club that was started by Miss Katie and Miss Macarino. They had their first meeting yesterday and kids were so excited they had to like apply for those clubs and, you know, be selected. And me and Miss Arrington started a kindness club and our first meeting is today. So it's really nice to kind of get students excited about after school activities and having extra space where they can play, learn how to work together, learn how to problem solve. So I think that those are some fun things that are happening that at MacArthur that are really gonna create some good community building amongst students.
They are working on an initiative that is similar at middle school, and they do that during the day at break, which is before or after lunch, depending on the grade level. So I know that we have a 5th and 6th grade yoga club, which I want to go to that. And there's a sustainability and fashion club. So there's a few of those things like that where I'm going to be trying to highlight some of that on social media as they start having their meetings. So I think that obviously it helps students be more excited about things that are happening at school because it's more, we want to, again, whole child model, right? So, and helping them feel connected with friends makes them not feel alone at any point. So that's always important for our mental health. How about you, Miss Yu? Oh.
Yeah. So bullying presentations for secondary will actually be the beginning of November this year. We're trying to incorporate having student council participate in leading some activities and helping with the middle school. So with things going on in campus, our presentations will be a little later than elementary. And then Ms. Lopez and I did come across an opportunity for teachers that we sent out on Parent Square for high school teachers that on Donors Choose, they can like submit kind of like a request of like mindfulness materials and how that would improve the students' mental health to kind of get funding for those items.
That's great.
So we asked if anybody does submit to let us know so we can highlight that as well.
Yeah, please let me know as well, because we've had some great luck sharing things that are happening on Donors Choose. Coach Whitty is a Donors Choose like champ over there and is always getting materials for PE. that was something that I did notice as far as, speaking of equipment, by the way, Coach Woody, you specifically, they don't have a lot of materials here for that middle school break time. There's a lot of, they play outside and they're very creative. And I was chatting with one of our teachers, like, there's a line between creativity and boredom. And there's you want them to be just bored enough to be creative, but not so bored that they get destructive or just wild. So they don't have a ton of materials out here. So that's one thing that maybe like looking at doing a donors choose, because I specifically was thinking, because our 5th grade class was just at your campus, Coach Woody, with all of the great materials that you help organize. And then it's more of a free play time, but there's not a lot of equipment or things for them to do. So I would love to hear any suggestions you have for that, just to, because that's actually a huge benefit that they have 30 extra minutes is not PE, outside time, running around playing, blowing off steam before they go back to class. But it isn't as helpful if they have nothing to do.
I think it's really interesting that you bring that up, because I do know that at the end of the year, I had a conversation with a student who said the very same thing, and how he noticed that there wasn't a lot to do during recess time. So I'm sure that that is something that other students probably notice as well. So I wonder if it could be something that like the 5th grade, like a team of 5th graders can get together or survey what they would like. What they would like to see, and maybe a teacher could create a donors choose that is, more like they are just kind of facilitating what the students are wanting.
Right, based on the student feedback.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think donors choose is really helpful. We just got literally like 2 days ago, I set up 2 different donors choose projects for just recess equipment. And I guess I first did it right at the last day of school last year. So it would have all summer to sit there and hopefully get donated. And both of them got donated yesterday. So we're getting all new basketballs, soccer balls.
Yay. They had a matching day yesterday, right?
Say what?
They had a matching day, right? Yeah.
Yes. So we're getting all new stuff for recess this year. And we also have it in our budget too, like the PE/recess budget. So every year we do spend a little bit of money on recess equipment, and we're always constantly emphasizing to take care of the recess equipment, because it can last, if we take care of it, it can last more than 1 year. So yeah, it would be super simple to set up a donors choose, and especially if you promote it at the 5th grade campus, it would probably get funded very quickly. I know when I did the Quinn after school, we did a donors choose one time for the Quinn, and that boom, immediately got funded once we notified the parents. So I don't think it would be too difficult to set up, as long as you spread the word about it. I think 5th grade would be able to take care of that pretty easy.
Love that. Okay. I will put that on my agenda to reach out to our it's really both 5th and 6th grade who have break over there. So it could maybe be a combination of, I like the idea of polling them, Miss Lopez, as far as like, and we also need to look at that space and see if there's anything maybe that could be something that the school could look at providing too. I mean, we're not going to put in a playground right there, right? But there might be other options that we could explore as a SHAC, as far as like maybe a structure or something that allows for creative play that is a little more engaging while we're having our wonderful outside time. Do I have any updates from anybody else, parents, community members, of any wellness activities or things that we should have on our horizon for SHAC? Go ahead, Ms. Topher.
I was just going to ask if any of the campuses had like a garden club.
So we have had different gardening initiatives. Sometimes they're a part of, here at the secondary campus, sometimes they're a part of an elective class. So we typically have a health pathways class for 5th through 8th grade, where they have an elective that can incorporate gardening. We have a couple different gardening spaces. Pre-K specifically has a whole gardening unit that they do in the spring.
Oh, nice.
Yes, it is very exciting times, because they get to plant lots of things in the front. They beautify the front of the buildings. But it's sort of hit or miss as far as like who takes that on, depending on the different teachers when it happens here at secondary where I'm located. So, but we do have different gardening areas that are available to students, including our beautiful new outdoor classroom space that's here at secondary between our 5th grade building and our high school math and science building, which we put in last year.
Miss Casper's our
Oh
science teacher
gosh,
and
MacArthur's
director.
all kinds of gardening, you're right.
Yeah, she has really
Oh.
spearheaded. She incorporates the garden during wind time. I know she does other units involving garden work, but she really does a great job at getting the students involved in planting, learning about the cycle that plants go through to grow, and then also harvesting you know, the different kind of fruits and veggies that she has out there. And also specifically like native plants that are helpful to the like, you know, the ecosystems and
Pollinators,
butterflies.
yes.
So she does a really good job at incorporating that into her lessons and getting the kids out into the garden to study the, you know, the natural wildlife that happens upon the garden. So there is that is really incorporated into the school.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know how that slipped my mind. I think last year she worked with Texas AgriLife, and I think all of our 3rd graders became junior master gardeners over the course of the whole year. So they finished this kind of intensive program, which is a big win, but I didn't end up getting to really publicize it happened at the very end of May, and my life sort of got turned upside down by some health problems and from a family member. So I kind of didn't finish following up on that, but I need to find out if they're doing that again, because it fits really well with that 3rd grade curriculum that she's already doing in science. So it's pretty cool that, by partnering with Texas AgriLife, they provided 2 or 3 more garden beds than what we had before. So they've built more onto it. That's a great question, Ms. Tovar. That'd be something that we could maybe report out on more as we move into more pleasant temperatures here in Texas,
Yeah, really.
which is more conducive for garden success.
I'm just gonna convey an upcoming event that might not be relevant to the whole student population, but segments of the population. Ironman Waco is coming up, and there are many volunteer activities that are available starting the week of the 3rd through race days on Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
And then in the years past, the race director is Nancy Newman Goodnight, and she has often incentivized school groups who are looking to do fundraising to host different rest stations or water aid stations.
Water stops. Yeah.
I don't know if I haven't seen those posted yet this year. She does it for Waco Wild West typically, and for some of the bigger runs in town, but for Ironman as well. So I just wanted to forward that along to you. If I see it, I'll forward it to you, SJ. But that's something else. If students are looking for volunteer hours or want to help with you know, medical experience for their resume or whatever in that regard, there's some opportunities there that are right in town, and you get that Ironman name that goes with it. But the fundraising side of it is also fun for clubs as well, if they're looking for something health related.
Yeah, absolutely. I several of our high school clubs would be interested in both the volunteer hours and the fundraising for sure. That's awesome. Please do send that my way. Waco's so cool. There's just so many things that are happening around here. And sometimes it's really just making sure that everyone knows about what's happening. That is the biggest challenge. So, all right. Well, that kind of covers our agenda. I will be putting together minutes based on our meeting. Our next meeting is October 24th. It's also at 11:30 on Zoom, and our topic is mental health. So we're going to hopefully hear some more from Ms. Lopez and Ms. Ugolano about some of the things that they've been focusing on over the last year and what their goals are for this year. They do a fabulous job, and we are very, very thankful to have them. Another thing that I'd love to put to you, and then I'll be sending out on Parent Square in the SHAC group, is if we can work together to do an in-person SHAC meeting just one time this whole school year. I believe in us, guys. And so that's something that I would love to look at, maybe scheduling probably in the spring. And and maybe even close to our Fruits and Veggies Day in April might be kind of a fun SHAC initiative. So I would really love, I know it's hard because a lot of our school employees who need to be here have to physically be on the locations that they are. So maybe we look at something early, right after drop off in the mornings, or right after school's out at 4, just for one in-person meeting, because I just think it's going to be valuable moving forward as a SHAC committee. So that, just be looking for a poll on that to maybe help us nail down a date that will hopefully be able to get more people involved in that. So thank you very much. And I will be in touch, like I said, on Parent Square. Any other thoughts or questions before we end this?
Oh, thanks so much, SJ.
Thank you, guys. My first SHAC meeting. We did it. Yeah.